Hi, so I'm about ready to say something probably very controversial. Be prepared. I think that what we should have is a community where everybody is, this isn't the controversial part, everybody is welcomed. Everybody who wants to be kind to people, accept people where you don't necessarily look the same, don't have to speak the same language. Everybody is welcome that believes that way, that wants to be in community with people who don't necessarily look like them, and is accepting of that. And then those who don't want to be in community with people that are like them, that they honestly think that they're superior, they get to be in Alaska, where is one of the hardest places to live, and they can be there by themselves. And they can have their own little community where everybody looks like them. I think there might be a problem, though. I don't think a lot of younger women are going to want to go. But I think we should let them have their community. And we can, the rest of us, we can have our community. And we can have, because I think there's more of us that like things to be more with each other and or want to be kind to each other and want diversity of people. We can have our own area. And since that's mostly probably going to be most of us, we get to, the people who are wanting this, we get to pick most of the areas we want to be in. And then we'll just have those areas, and then the leftover areas they can have. You know, I said earlier I wanted to find solutions to things. I think I just came up with a really good solution. Because you know what I'm going to tell you? I love my friends who don't look like me. I do have friends who look like me. But I do love my friends who don't look like me. I love our jokes. I love our community. I love being with them. I love the brilliance of them. I love the uniqueness of them. I wouldn't change them for the world. I don't like people who think they're better than anyone else, whether it's based on their gender or the color of their skin, and they can stay the F away from me. That's just how I feel. And so I think, and you know what? They can have that president that they like, that thinks like them. And he can run that little country for them, and they can break off and be whatever they want to be, because they want to keep that perpetuating. We don't need to be a part of that anymore. We can be our own. And you know what? What would be awesome about that is, I bet you we'd thrive. I bet you we'd thrive so much. And you know what? I bet you we would have so much innovation come out, because we'd encourage each other. We wouldn't say things like, well, you know what? You're discriminating against me because I'm white, which is absolutely hilarious. You know, when you hear those things, you wouldn't hear those things. You would say, when you'd see a Black community or a Black person thriving, you'd say, yes, good job. Let me come alongside of you. Instead of saying, I'm jealous of you and I want what you have. I'm envious, so I'm going to destroy it. Instead, we'd all be working together. When you see a Latina woman working in tech and just flourishing, you'd be like, yes, we know we need more Latina women in tech. Good job. Come on, let's change the narrative here. Let's have more women in tech instead of all these cis white males. Nothing against cis white males, but we need more women in tech, especially Latina women. Yeah. Wouldn't that be cool? So I think we should start that. I'm looking for more solutions, and then we could actually have Kamala be our president. You know what? Then there wouldn't be any squabbles. They all get Trump because they like him, and we all get Kamala. We get our own area. And you know what? We could just break off. And we could figure that out. I mean, my gosh. I mean, there's so many of us that, we could pick things like, I'm sure, we could figure out where, we could figure this out. What states are the best ones to live in? I tell you, for me personally, I do like New York, even though I'm not a big back east person. I do like California. Oregon's pretty nice, and Washington's pretty nice. So, the other ones I'm not quite big. I've been to every state, but I'm not quite big on the other states. So maybe we could start looking at that, mapping that out. Maybe we could even talk to Canada, see if we could work a deal out with Canada. Canada's pretty cool. I've been to some places in Canada that are really nice. So I think we've got a solution here. Why don't we start working on that solution? Maybe that's the solution we need. On that note, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.